So let's say you're supposed to make a package and you've got an existing die or you've been supplied a die line. How do you go about taking that die line, putting it into Illustrator, and then populating that package with something that you can then print, fold up, make a mock-up out of it, and send it to the printer? Let's take a look. I'm sharing my screen. We're going to go to, first of all, we're going to go to the interwide web, which apparently has a lot of cool stuff in it. One of them being, let me see if I can get Zoom out of the way here. Zoom is always in the way. It's just one of those things, you know, it's just kind of annoying. What you'll see here is I'm on the dieline.com, which is an amazing resource, like ridiculous great. A lot of beautiful free stuff here. In here, in this particular spot, you will find there is a free book that is available, The Packaging and Die Lines, A Designer's Guide to Packaging Die Lines. Download here. So you can hit that button. You'll get a big, fat, beautiful PDF, which you will open up in Acrobat, Adobe Acrobat. And then you will say to yourself, there's a package of what the box might look like if I use this one or this one or this one. So this one's called an oyster buckle box, and it is on page 32. There's the die line. There's the photo of the package once it's done. So if you said to yourself, yeah, that's the one I want, what you do is grab that, you downloaded that PDF, flip into Illustrator, which is a terrific, again, program that you can open PDFs. It eats PDFs, which is pretty cool. I'm going to open a new file. This happens to be, if you happen to be taking my class, you know that it's in design and branding in week 9, packaging, and there is our packaging die lines. Great. So I'm going to open that file and it says, wow, that's a big file. There's 114 pages. Is that what you want to open up? No, I looked through in Acrobat and I know that page 32 is the one that has the die line that I want to use. 32. Okay. The document, I'm going to have to reinterpret a few things. I figured you would have to. That's okay with me. I'm not going to bother replacing my fonts because frankly, I don't care about the fonts. All I want is this object right here. So now I'm in Illustrator. There's my die line right there. So all the stuff that I really need to populate this thing is right there. And now all I need to do, I can throw all this stuff away. I don't need to all this explanatory text on here that tells me what's going on. All I need to do then is take in my layers palette. Layers lives right here. In my layers palette, I've got a layer that says I am ready to work. That's the layer that I want with the die line. I think what I might do is even just lock that layer so I don't mess with it. Then I'll come back up here and say, give me a new layer. I'll call it maybe base art and say hokey dokey. And now I've got a base art layer. I'm going to put that underneath my die line so that when I look through my die line, I will see the artwork that I'm going to put on there. And then here, really all I'm trying to do is make sure I drop a text or a color block on this thing that is the color that I want to use. Because I opened a PDF, I don't have any colors in my swatches, of course, so I'm going to have to go invent some colors. So you have to screw around with this a little bit and say, add me a swatch, give me a RGB file, and add some colors that you can say, groovy, that's the color that I want to fill this thing with. And then you come back here and realize that some things in your die line layer are filled with a gray color and locked already. I don't need the info window, I need the layers window. I'm going to unlock that, grab that shape right there and fill it with nut and honey. So everything I want filled with nothing. So I'm going to just grab actually everything except my green fill and say fill nothing. And now I've got, thank you so much for your help. So now I've got the ability to populate this package. It's blank, it's ready to go. The cut lines are solid, the fold lines are dashed, just exactly the way you want it. So then I can start putting my color in here on the base art. I would probably also create a separate box here, a new layer, and say I'm going to put a new layer on here with my elegant type that says schmutz, and put that on a separate layer, type and art, so that I've got the control over the overall color, the die line itself, and then my type that I want to have on the top. So that's basically how you would go about setting this thing up. I'm putting something really cool like lobster, what else? So that's hopefully useful for you in terms of setting up the stuff that you wanted to do for your beautiful package of whatever it is that you want to do. I will talk to you later on once you have had a chance to explore this beautiful stuff. See you later.